It's the ultimate, most mediumest sized chicken parm in town. Move over, epic mealtime. I'm here for the medium-sized foods. What's up, hungry people? Welcome back to the Starving Chef's Kitchen. So I've been seeing a lot of these giant food challenges on YouTube lately, and Epic Mealtime just made the most epic chicken parm that I have ever seen. Now, I don't have the resources to make a chicken parm quite that big, but I can make a knockoff medium-sized chicken parm. That'll work. I woke up early this morning to pound out the chicken and make sure that it was a nice consistent thickness all the way across. And then I arranged the chicken overlapping into a patty shape and then stuck the chicken patty into the freezer and let it freeze solid for about 6 hours before pulling it out just a few minutes ago to start softening a little bit. And this is the end result, a perfect sized chicken patty. So the first thing we need to do with our chicken patty is get it nice and breaded. And this is probably my favorite part because this will be a nice homemade breading that we can put right on our chicken. So first up, we need to whisk up our eggs. So we have a half dozen eggs here, and we'll get those nice and whisked. And because I don't have any bowls that are big enough to hold the whole chicken patty, I've had to use these cake pans as a substitute. So we'll just go ahead and pour our egg yolks into the pan, and then we'll set that aside. And then we'll also need a pan of breadcrumbs. And I actually bought some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, but we'll go ahead and add a few more of our own spices to it to pick it up a notch. So get a generous coating of breadcrumbs. And then the last thing we'll need is a bag of flour. And then this flour will be what we use to dredge the chicken in first, so that way the egg yolks will stick to the chicken. So we'll go ahead and unwrap our patty. So now we just have like one solid chicken breast here. And then let's take our whole chicken breast and stick it in the bag. Seal it up tight. And then just basically shake it so that the whole chicken is covered with the flour. You want it pretty generously coated because the more flour on it, the more even of a layer of egg you'll get on it. Okay, so let this kind of chill out for a minute and sort of absorb some of that flour. And then to our breadcrumb mixture here, we're going to add a little bit of Hungarian smoked paprika. And then a little bit of chili powder to give it a good kick. Just add the rest. And then we'll add a little bit of extra parsley. I know there's some already in our Italian season here, but I really like to get a nice sparkle of green throughout my breading on my chicken. It smells so good already from this paprika. I'm so excited. Give this a quick stir together here. So then these next couple steps are gonna have to move pretty fast. First is dredge our chicken in our egg yolk, and then we'll transfer it over to our breadcrumbs, transfer it back to the remaining egg, and then back to the breadcrumbs to give it a nice thick crust. And then we'll transfer the entire thing over to our skillet, which has been preheating on the oven, that has a little bit of olive oil in it, just to give our chicken a nice browning. And then after that, we're gonna toss it into the oven to let it finish cooking until it is cooked all the way through. Okay, so grab our chicken here. Oh yeah, nice and dredged, man. This is what we like to see. Okay, so go ahead and put it in. Oh no, it barely fits in the cake pan. I should have measured this. Well, we'll just kind of have to make do with what we can. Use our hands, kind of pull the egg across. There we go. Sort of working. This is not how I expected this going. So get that egg. You want it to really stick to the chicken because otherwise you're not going to get a nice crust form. And we got kind of coated here on the back pretty well. Keep going on this side. Sort of let it soak into the flour there for a minute. Yeah, okay, we're looking good. Okay, so then, oh god, my face itches. Okay, transfer to our breadcrumbs. Sort of toss these on. You're gonna make a mess with this recipe. That's just the fact of the matter. Make sure that the breadcrumbs are coating everything. Everything that the egg's touching, the breadcrumbs should also be touching. There we go. Oh yeah, this is looking so good. Uh-oh, just dump that whole thing into the eggs. Okay, so then I'm gonna take it and then go back into our egg yolks. Still doesn't fit. Oh, there we go. Flip her over. Yeah, there we go. I think it melted a little bit. There we go. Ew. Ah. Okay, so let's make sure we're getting the egg yolk on this side too. I can tell that it's working because of the crust that I've built up on my hands already. So now we have our egg yolk on both sides. Pretty even layer. Give our breadcrumbs another shake to even it out. And then back over. Make sure we get our breadcrumbs in on there evenly. There we go. So now we should have a pretty even layer on all sides here. Kind of see I've just basically made a mess. It's all over my hands. Alright, so go back to making sure we have a nice even crust now that this is kind of set for a second while I wash my hands. Make sure we're nice and evenly coated, get those edges coated up again. This literally is already smelling so good. I'm so hungry. Good thing we have people over tonight because definitely not eating this alone, though I'm very tempted to. So let's head on over to the stove cam where we'll be frying this golden brown. So I've been letting this preheat here for a few minutes. It should be ready to go and give us a nice golden crispy skin on our chicken parm. This is literally the biggest skillet I own, so hopefully it works. That was a little less dramatic than I had hoped. I just realized I have no idea how I'm gonna flip this thing. The key to having a nice golden brown crust is to not flip the chicken too early, but you also want to make sure that you wait long enough for the pan to be hot enough so that the breading releases from the bottom of the skillet without actually sticking. Now, that's much easier said than done, so I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into a complete disaster when I try to flip it over here. I'm not too worried about getting it cooked in the middle. I am more concerned about getting the outside brown, and then we'll finish it off in the oven. I think my best course of action is going to be using tongs. Maybe a couple sets of tongs. Give it a little check. It's feeling kind of soft. Let's see. Whew. That's how you burn yourself. Let's see if I get a bigger spatula. Can I flip this? This is getting dangerous. Oh gosh. Hey, that actually kind of worked. I mean, that actually looks pretty good, all things considered. Nice and brown, golden on top. Ooh, baby. Touch up that corner. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know a thing. I don't know. That looks pretty good to me. I think then the next step is going to be taking it out of the pan and then moving it into the oven. Alright, this sounds done, so I'm going to go ahead and try to flip it without completely destroying all the work we've done so far. I'm going to try to transfer from here onto here. Easiest way, just to slide it on over. I honestly Cannot believe that actually worked. Looks pretty good. Pretty good for a giant chicken patty. So I have our convection oven on, so we'll just go ahead and put this into our bottom oven here at 425 for probably about 15 to 20 minutes just to get it nice and cooked all the way through. Go ahead and stick this right into the oven. We're gonna go ahead and cook that in the oven at 425 for about 15 to 20 minutes until the inside juices run clear. Meanwhile, while the chicken is cooking, we'll go ahead and butter our buns. So basically earlier this morning, I went to Panera and I picked up these focaccia loaves. These loaves look absolutely like the perfect size for our bread. So what I'm gonna do is actually flip them over so that this is going to be the top and bottom buns to our chicken parm. And I have this run-of-the-mill sort of generic garlic spread. You can buy this over usually in your bakery section. It's just like your generic homemade butter garlic to make homemade garlic bread. So we're just gonna go ahead and spread it nice and thick like across the bottom of our buns. So effectively we're making these garlic focaccia buns. Talk about taking your chicken parm to the next level. Spread it on nice and thick like. And then once we sort of have an even layer of this, we can go ahead and put these into the oven for about 5 or 6 minutes. We just really want to get this toasted and get that butter nice and melted down into the bread. So thankfully I have a double oven so I can actually toast these on a slightly lower temperature than what the chicken parm is cooking at right now. If you do cook your bread with your chicken, only put it in for about 2 or 3 minutes, just long enough to get that butter melted. But if you're lucky like I do and have the double oven, then we'll go ahead and put these into the oven at about 350 for about 5 to 6 minutes. Again, just to get it nice and melted and to begin to toast the bread. Theo, are you excited? Are you excited for the giant chicken parm? No, you just want your own dinner? Theo, are you hungry? Were you taking a nap? Yeah. Mommy wishes she could take a nap. Oh, hi. Winnie, what are you doing? Luna, you looking for scraps? Yeah, you finding some? Here's how you make dinner for your dogs. Step 1, back out of the kitchen. Pick up the bowls of dog food. Then put food in them. Step 3, feed hungry dogs. Great success.
Great success.
Theo, is that food gummy? Better be. Better be the best damn food you've ever had. Luna, are you enjoying your dinner? That dinner looks pretty good. Look, and only 3 seconds to spare. Aw, yeah. Look at these golden brown buns. So we got our buns nice and golden brown. It literally smells so good. I am salivating right now. So what we're going to do in traditional chicken parm style, we're gonna go ahead and start assembling our chicken parm sandwich. Get out of here. So I have a couple different kinds of cheese here. I have our coarse provolone, and then I have a creamy mozzarella, and then a 6-cheese Italian blend. Because it wouldn't be the ultimate medium-sized chicken parm without like 6 different kinds of cheeses. So because we only have a few slices of provolone, I'm going to go ahead and take 4 or 5 or 6 slices here and then arrange them on our bread. So that way, no matter what happens, our bread will be nice and cheesy. And it sounds like our chicken is just about done, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out of the oven too. Okay. This is literally perfect. Make sure to keep your oven preheated because we're gonna be sticking this whole thing back into the oven to get it all nice and melty. So now that we have our chicken out, we have to transfer our chicken to the bread. So first, I think the best way to do this would be to center one of these in the middle of the sheet and then transfer the entire thing to the oven from there. Set this aside for now. Actually, I think this will be a better top bun. This will be a better bottom bun. I'm just gonna give this a real quick spray just so that doesn't stick when we go to take it off the pan here at the end. Next, we will move our chicken patty to the bun. I think I can do this between 2 spatulas, hopefully. Okay. Rid of this pan. And then the next step would be to put our marinara onto our chicken. Okay, so we'll take our marinara. And let's pour that right on top. Oh baby. So brush it around. Make sure it's nice and even like. Oh my gosh. This is probably one of the craziest things I've ever done. Okay, so we got our marinara on there. Just kidding, I'll wash my hands. Rest of our Parmesan cheese here. Arrange it around the edges like this. And then of course, we have to add our other cheeses because we want this thing to be cheesed out. So we're just gonna go ahead and take the rest of our 6 cheese blend. Give it just BAM! Name that chef. And then just pile on the mozzarella. Yeah! Yeah! And then we'll take our top. Put it right on here. Right. Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay, so then let's just get this whole thing back to the oven and we're gonna let it cook for another 10 or so minutes just to get that cheese nice and melty. And now we just wait.
5 minutes later.
I know you guys are excited for this. I'm excited for this. Let's take a little sneak peek behind the scenes. Oh! Ow! Damn, that looks good, son.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Let's get ready to take it out.
Several bad puns later.
7 seconds left and I'm dying to see how good it looks.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
This is our chicken parm. So now the real question is, can I get it off of the baking pan and onto the cutting board? Okay, so let's switch these spots. Line up our shaft. Line up our shaft. Make sure that we release it from all sides of the board here. Okay, moment of truth. Oh my god, it literally looks so good. The most okayest chicken parm I've ever seen. And of course, let's give it a nice pop of color and add some fresh parsley because that's what they do on all the other big cooking channels. Give it a pop of color. Alright, now let's see what happens when I slice this puppy in half. Just kidding. Okay, so let's start in the middle here. Ready for this cheese pull action? Oh my gosh, it's so hot, but it looks so good. Ah! The biggest, mediumest sized chicken parm of all. Oh, that cheese. All right. Now for the piece de resistance. It's the most mediumest sized chicken Parmesan sandwich in town. That's super good. Makes a mess though. What other foods would you like to see me make medium sized? This was actually a ton of fun. I can see why Healthy Junk Food and Epic Mealtime do this. and now I'm just gonna have a huge chicken parm sandwich to eat for like the next 4 days. If you like this video, don't forget to flip that sub button and ring the dinner bell to be notified of the foodie adventures and recipes that I post every week. As always, you can find this recipe and many others with step-by-step instructions on thestarvingchefblog.com. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. About to dig in.